Hey, what's up, fellow traders? I hope you guys are having a great week. We just got through hump day. I mean, we got 2 more days left, and we'll be ready for the weekend. And this week's gone by pretty quick. I've been able to do a video this week. And I have not only is my mom, she's 82, about to be 83 next week. And even though she gets around and all of that, I still have, a son do list every day. The things that she can't do that I need to go help her with every day. And then my brother is basically on hospice now. So he's staying there with her. So I can help take care of both of them. They're all in the same place. But time consuming, and I wasn't able to do a video, but I wanted to follow up with what we did last week with the second part. Last week we talked about the foundation, which I feel is the most beautiful part of the house that just gets buried, and is also the most beautiful part of your trading that we just don't see. We do it and we bury it, and we just rely on it. We rely on it continuing to hold us up. So we're going to talk about the second part today. But I also want to talk to you about the nighttime trading as well. I had a lot of questions about it. So I'm going to throw that in there too. But before we get there, I found this. Take Profit Trader did this kind of analogy here. And it brought back memories, because if you guys have been with me for a while, I started this futures journey on Apex. Thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. But when I started, like 2 or 3 months after I started, they started changing all of these rules, and payouts started to not show up and not get approved and all that. So I was in this was my brain right here. And then there are a lot of people that trade with multiple prop firms, and you're still trying to, I'm going to get paid here this day, I'm going to get paid here that date, I qualify this day. You don't know whether you're going to get approved. You don't know. It just gets to be a headache. So when I got to Take Profit Trader, it was too good to be true. I didn't believe it when I read it, but it is true. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, there were no payout delays or surprise denials or anything, ever. I've been doing this for over a year with them, and I haven't had any issues, no denials, no delays. Everything's been 100%. But there's no profit caps on how much profit you can make. Now, once you make a certain amount in your Pro account, you will get moved into a Pro Plus account, which it will be a fully live account, and you'll get 90% of that. Plus, your trailing drawdown the trailing drawdown that you have in Pro kind of goes away in Pro Plus. So that should make you want to move to that. But you can copy trade across your 5 accounts that they let you have and get paid from day one when you get to your Pro account. But listen, that's a trap. All right, that is a trap. I'm not saying that they don't pay you if you make it in day one. But what happens is, when you get your Pro account, most people try to get paid in day one. They try to get paid day one, and they end up blowing their accounts and having to start over again. I can't tell you how many traders I've worked with and had to work through that, so that they would not try to get the payout in day one. Just take what the market gives you, be patient, and just trade like you did during your test. Because that test, that eval phase, is there to help you prepare for when you get to your pro account. You know how to trade. So, you want to make sure that you get to that part. But what I wanted to share with you about payouts real quick. Today, I did a payout 7/23/2025. I did it at 2 o'clock. All right. So, I don't show my amounts. People ask me why I don't. It's because I've learned over the last 10, 13 years, 12, 13 years that I've been helping and teaching traders that when you try to compare yourself to somebody else, oftentimes you get a false sense of security, or if you're trying to compare what you do with what another person does, it kind of, makes you feel a certain way about yourself, and then think that what I'm trying to teach you and help you with doesn't work. And that's not the case. It's all a mental thing. Because look, if I compare what I made to, say, Patrick Whelan, I compare what I make to what he makes, I would probably feel inadequate because I don't make nowhere near what he makes. He probably makes more in affiliate payments than I make trading. But I don't compare what I make with him. I don't care what he makes. I'm happy with what I do. I'm happy because I can do the things that I want to do, take care of the things that I want to take care of, and I'm older, which means I don't need a whole lot. So I'm not going to compare myself to him or anybody else that does really well, like that makes a lot of money. So I don't share it because I don't want people. It's always been a hindrance. But I did take a request a payout at 2 o'clock. And here at 3:07, which was about an hour later, it was approved. And it was processed another hour and a half later. So by 4:30, it had been processed. At 6 o'clock, it was in my bank account. Now, I put the 17th up here. This was last week payout. I think I did last Thursday. I did it at 12:44. Now, last week, they were a little bit busier with payouts. Okay? So, it didn't get approved until 3:38. I didn't see this until after 4:30. So I didn't do the finish the withdrawal request until like 4:35, 4:40, something like that. So there's no way that's going to get processed and deposited. Even if they sent it at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, it wouldn't get to my bank yet. So what's funny, I never got one of these. All right, so I figured it was that late. They're probably gonna process it the next day when the bank opens back up. So at 7 o'clock the next morning, the money was in my bank. I never got this email after hours, but the money got sent and it was in my bank. So you don't have to worry. Okay, even if you get it late and you don't approve it until later, you're gonna get it. They're not gonna forget about it. These guys have been up and on the level from day one. Now, if you want to join in on this, use code AJT66, or you can use my code, my affiliate code or link. You can use it. And as I said before, if you get not 5 email, if you get 5 accounts using my my link or my code, you can come in to my live stream for free. I don't sell access to it, but it's private. And if you're not using Take Profit Trader, doesn't make sense for you to come in. I'm not opening up to every Tom, Dick, and Harry that could come in because I'm older. I don't like a lot of noise. I just like to focus on my trading every day. And that's what it's all about. But I stream 23 hours a day. Now, I'm not talking on it, but the live stream is up. And I do trade at night. I trade in the middle of the night. I'll trade in the morning. Whenever there's an opportunity, I'm going to trade. So the overnight markets, at 8 o'clock, Tokyo opens up. So what I'm going to do is, let me bring this down. Okay, and show you. Okay, this is 8 o'clock. Right around in here. You can see there's a little volume spike here. Not big, but sometimes it just depends on if there's something going on with Japan. It might, we might have some. Oh, I got to take this out. This is what's left from a order I had going. But that was my stop. The last piece of the order I had going. Where was I? Oh, okay. So 8 p.m. is Tokyo. Now 9:30, we got Hong Kong and Shanghai opening. Here we go. This is the run up to the open. Now, oftentimes, this thing will happen between 9 and 9:30. We get a big volume spike. But that's around when these markets are opening. All right, so we were able to nail a trade here. We bounced. I was able to get back in, nail a trade here, here, here. This was the stop on my last piece. This is tonight. This is what I've done tonight. This is what happens every night. And then at 3 o'clock, the European market's open. If it's daylight savings time, it's at 3. If it's when the time changes, it goes to 4 a.m. But these are tradable opportunities. And let me tell you, I'm not the only one that says this. It is easier to trade. I know for me, it's easier to trade at night. I tend to make more money at night than I do during the day. So that's why around 11 o'clock, when the market starts to flatten out, I'm done. I'll come in the morning, trade the morning, and when the market flattens out, I'm done. Unless I'm, sleeping after lunch and I happen to hear a news thing hit, then I may come back. But that's just the way it is. It's easier to trade at night. So I do live stream overnight. I try to shut it off because Zoom will only run 24 hours and then it cuts off automatic. So I try to restart it before the market opens at 6 o'clock in the evening. Between 5 and 6, I try to reset it so that it doesn't cut off overnight, but sometimes I forget. All right, but that's the overnight markets. So what we talked about, and this is going to be quick because I've done enough already, but this is going to be quick. We talked about the foundation, but now we're building the framework. The foundation is set. Okay, now we start making sure we understand how to manage our risk effectively. We've learned the strategy. We understand what managing risk now is. Now we're using the chart. We're moving from maybe an automated, 2-to-1, 3-to-1, 4-to-1 risk management thing you set in the beginning to now you're basing your risk on the chart. And you're able to look at the chart to see what your profit potential is and determine, does that trade make sense? Is it worth me taking? Because I'm not going to make that much money. The potential to make that much money is not there. And you're able to identify that. You're building the framework for your trading. You're focusing more on nailing your execution. Entering when you're supposed to, exiting when you're supposed to, not letting outside things factor into your trading. You're focusing on executing your trade plan. And then you're starting to see what weaknesses you have. Do you get pissed off once you lose a trade? And it makes you mad and you want to make the money back. That's a weakness. That revenge trading is a weakness. Or do you have a fear of missing out? So you just take the trade. Because you don't want to miss out on it. So you take it early because you think you might miss it. That's a weakness. Okay, there's all kind of weaknesses that you'll be identifying and having to work through so that you can finish building out your trading. So you're just framing it now. And then, next week we're going to talk about building it out so that it starts to look and resemble a professional trader's day. Okay, and that's what we're all going for. All right, so I'm going to leave you guys with that. Don't forget, if you want to get on the Take Profit Trader train, this is the best time to get in. Check it out. My direct link is going to be in the description of this video. Also, my affiliate code, discount code is going to be there. So you check that out. And if you do, and you're not a part of the community, just message me here on YouTube, or you can email me at ed@averagejoetrader.org. That email will be in the description as well. So you guys have a great rest of the day. And rest of the night, because it's almost 12 o'clock here. I know on the West Coast, y'all are just getting started. But have a great rest of the night. I'm going to take a break, maybe take a nap watching TV. My alarm clock will go off at 2:45. So I'll be able to see what happens here when the 3 o'clock hour, the European markets kick off. And then I'll probably go back to sleep. But you guys have a good one, and I will catch you on the flip side.